Welcome. Yeah, good evening. It's 8:30 p.m. Saturday, and we have nothing better to do than make a live stream on Xamarin Forms with MVVM. I hope so, at least. So, as always, you're welcomed to put your comments in the section. If I can help you out with anything, just go ahead. Otherwise, let me explain what I'm going to do. So I started some .NET Maui stuff in the last, let's say, couple of weeks. And I recognize that you can't really do nothing with it currently. So that's why my Visual Studio 2022 preview is here, to be able to take a look at Maui, which is the successor of Xamarin Forms, kind of, or Xamarin as a complete stack. And this video today is all about, I tried to build up or go back to Xamarin Forms and have a look at this. Problem with this is, if you today with Studio 2022, with the most recent studio, want to go into Xamarin Forms and you want to do some professional stuff, you're kind of stuck, because the technology stack kind of leaves you currently in a gap where you can't do the new stuff, Maui, and you can't do the old stuff in the normal fashion either, which is kind of frustrating. So, and that's why I decided, well, I came up with some solutions and I want to share this with you and make this kind of an exercise for me, so that I can take a look at how to make it in the correct way nowadays. So without further explanation, maybe let's dive into it. So what I'm going to do, maybe first of all, I want to go to GitHub and create a repo so that I can share this whole thing with you. So first of all, let me hit in dark mode so everybody will appreciate this. What the, is this dark mode? Oh, thank you. So let's go to GitHub and yeah, now it should kick in. And now let's go to my page, which is Coding Freaks, and let's just create a new repo here. I think I have to log out, sorry, and be the right one, which is, thank you. Can I see something here? Is this? Oh man, I can't see anything. So interestingly enough, well, that's the first thing I have to think of. So where are my credentials? Let me go to not dark mode once again, and maybe there it is, Coding Freaks. I don't know what's going on. Maybe dark mode comes into place. That switches on again, sorry. And let's go to my repo then. Now we're talking. So let's create a new one so we can fresh, and let's just call it Xamarin Forms sample. Just the code I developed during the live session, whatever. So I make it public, add a README, add a git ignore, using Visual Studio, of course, for the git ignore. If you never saw this happen, now you see. Now create the repo, I think. There it is. Just copy the URL and then hit up the terminal here. So maybe I zoom a little bit. I always forget to zoom. And then I have my Coding Freaks folder here. And that should be the exact right location to do it. Which is the Xamarin Forms sample. Let's see, looks good. So, and now we can start here in this folder. Cool. So with this done, so I should maybe paste in the URL in the chat so that whoever wants to can right away join, and I try to commit and push in early stages so that maybe who's interested can take a look at this. So let's go ahead and let's create strictly a new project. So what I'm going to do here is I will create, as always, or not as always, but I did some screencasts about creating a clean solution. I start with blank solution here. And let's go and call it Xamarin Forms Sample 2 and put it in the correct place, which is repos, Coding Freaks, and then Xamarin Forms Sample. Now, next thing, which is still not solved to me, if you create the solution here, for whatever reasons, he decides to put this stuff into a subfolder, which I don't like. This is why I just right away close the solution, go to my Explorer in the same folder, take out the solution file, put it in the root and get rid of this folder. Now it's more clean. And then back in Visual Studio, I reopen the file from the correct place. Let's do it. Maybe here and there. And now I'm good to go, and let's just solution created to be clean. And first of all, local commit, that's it. So what I will need, and what is this all about? I will have my solution split it into UI area. I use solution folders here and a logic area. So if I go here, created solution folders, you see I'm very clean about all this. So if I go ahead here and I click create new project and then I search for Xamarin Forms, I'm stuck with Android app. No, I want to do both. iOS, no, I want to do both. Wear app, no. WatchOS, no. No, no, no to. Xamarin test, no, no. And what I want really is a Xamarin Forms, where is it? A Xamarin Forms mobile app, that's what I want. So can I find it here too so that you see it? Mobile app, here it is, Xamarin Forms. A multi-project template for building apps for iOS and Android with Xamarin and Xamarin Forms. Okay, that's right away. So if I create this one, and let's say I put it into the correct UI location in my file system, what happens next is when I say, let's say, UI mobile, or yeah, this is my mobile UI. Now the template of Xamarin Forms creates for me a new mobile app. I want to do a tabbed app, let's say, with tabs at the bottom. For Android, iOS, I don't want to use UWP. And then I can go ahead and let him create the basic skeleton. So what I don't like about this is I like a lot of stuff. I don't like a lot of stuff about this. So getting started, thank you there. So now I'm stuck with this. Let's directly go to iOS as a startup project. But now I have the complete logic of my, if you will, MVVM, which is not a good MVVM. I'll come to this point later. I have this in this project mixed up in my UI layer. I cannot control that this project should not be here, but here. I want to be it in a logic layer. So a lot of stuff is going on. So what I do now is, first of all, I remove this project. Yes. And it stays alive inside of the folder here. UI mobile, and now I'm stuck with this. So I take out this folder and move it to a logic folder. Create one, logic, and put it here. So what I want this to be, this is my logic UI. This is my UI logic. That's all it is. Because it's this, I call the CS project logic UI. So I'm basically cleaning up everything. So let's see what's going on. Now that I moved this, I open an existing project in this folder, logic UI, and I go here. Now this looks nice in the first place, but now the naming is broken. So what I do is I remove those projects too, and I take care of them now. So I have the UI folder, and now first of all, why are they inside of a folder? I don't like it. Let's move them up and let's give them reasonable names. So this is simply UI Android now, and this is UI iOS. So now I can say UI iOS here too, and UI Android here too. So it's okay. So this is crap. I don't know. I don't need a user file. Is it here too? No, it isn't. So and now that the naming is complete in the file system, I can go and add existing projects, and I go to UI Android and add the Android first. And then I head over and create and add an existing project for iOS 2. So now I have this in place. This is screwed. Let's call it UI Android. I somehow didn't. So now it should be okay. Let's take a look here. UI Android C's project. Cool. So first step, that's it. Next step is to clean up the solution from, so first of all, folder structure cleared. Let's call it this way. Commit this, everything's okay. It's not working, it's not building for several reasons. So what I do next is I want this thing, and be aware that this is a .NET Standard application. I will try, if I go through this, I will try to make this .NET 6. And I'm not even sure if this is running on .NET 6. I don't think so. But let's see what's happening because of the, the dependencies. What I have in place here is ReSharper. I will use it to just, make the following. I go to my solution, and I go here and type silent cleanup, which is a shortcut. And I'm going through this, and now I'm cleaning up all my source code. So let's see. We have fun here. Nobody watches me, by the way. But anyway, I'm not sad. I'm doing this for learning too. So I guess I have to stick with doing, by the way, live screencasts with nobody watching me. But anyway, I'm a little bit sad. Let's check out what happened. So after I ran my cleanup, now the code is, optimized by things like I have now regions here. Code is more clean. It is organized so that those methods are ordered and stuff like that. This is all ReSharper if you don't have it, and if you don't mind, never mind me. I like it this way. So let us go here and call it ReSharper full cleanup. Commit. So cool. Let's go ahead and take a look now at what's going on. So first of all, these properties here, they are not clean. What I mean by this, not clean, and let me go over to something I have already done, maybe to the repos, and then in DevTier, which is my company, you probably know this. No, it's DevTier samples. I have something prepared. And then here I can have a look here. And what I mean is I need this stuff. So when I put this here, I'm starting, can I copy? Can I not? No, I can't here in the preview. I hate it. Anyways, let's take it from another thing and let's paste it here. So what I have is the assembly name, and here we want to use Coding Freaks. So this is something which ensures when I build this that I have default root namespaces set, and I have an assembly name which is basically Xamarin sample, and then this name .logic.ui.dll. That's what's going to happen. Okay, cool. Now I have this in place. ReSharper will yell at me at some points, for instance in the views, because he tells me at this position this is wrong now because the namespace is not matching, and I hate it. And here he is telling me this is not cool. So what I basically do is UI mobile, everything which is namespace UI mobile, I will replace this by namespace logic UI, but I will do this with Coding Freaks, Xamarin Forms sample, by the way. Form sample logic UI. Before I do this, or no, actually I'll do it. Save them all, close them all, and I did something, close all. And I did something wrong, I guess, because here is Xamarin Forms sample. Okay, Xamarin Forms sample. Now he should be fine. Let's take a look. This one is fine. ReSharper is not yelling at me anymore. So what's wrong now is that in the XAML files, here, there is always something about X class, blah, blah, blah. And I need to replace that too by, let's see, can I make it happen? Okay, never mind. Xamarin Forms sample logic UI. So dev no, coding freaks, logic, Xamarin Forms sample, wait a second, oh yeah, here, logic UI. Try this out. What's going to happen? So what happens now is he replaces all those X class occurrences, and it should be fine, but this one is not working. So I have to do this all over again. It's H, and then we have this one, and it should be, wait a second, it should be namespace, coding freaks, logic UI. Cool, let's do this for me. Is he happy? No, he's not. Xamarin Forms binding is missing. What is going on? X class. Let us close everything, and now let's take a look. Item detail page, happy. Items page, not happy. So what is going on? Oh, I see. Those namespace. Let's do it manually, and let's bring them in. And let's bring them in. X name is that, and now he has this one. So we have a namespace for ViewModels and the namespace for that. He is happy, he is not happy, and he is freaking out. So let's go and get rid of this. This is Xamarin Forms binding. Go. And this is, I don't know, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What do you want from me? This is coding freaks. This is drawing. What is going on in this view? You know what? I don't need this about page. Just get rid of it. It's just distraction. About page is not pretty important right now. We don't need the about view model then. And here is a lot of stuff. Let me see now what is going on. Here is items page. Yeah, do it. Here is login page, and get rid of this wrong one. So copy replace did not work out the way I wanted. Let's go here. It's everything clean. App shell XAML looks good. Let's see if we can just build this guy. Yeah, you see, about page. We don't need to redirect to this, and we go to the items page. And when we logged in, we go to the items page. Okay, that's the plan. Rebuild, what's going on? And now app, why? Where am I? I am at, oh, main activity. Never mind. Be cool, because this guy is completely out of the box. It's not UI Android. Here you see it is UI Android. So it should be coding freaks. Well, that's because this is not in place. Okay, so before I go on, let's unload those projects. It's always a lot of fun to do stuff like that, so that we concentrate on the logic, build it. One more, about page. I knew it. Icon about, we don't need this in the tab bar, so our tab has just one item. Never mind, that's not what, okay, that is working now. Cool. Now let's reload one by one those projects. Reload this one. And go to the properties, and now check everything, iOS debug, whatever, on demand, everything okay. Bundle signing is okay. IPA options, manifest, where is it built? Is it built? It is not built. This is application. Yeah, you will do this later. never mind, here it is. So what we need is Coding Freaks Xamarin Forms sample UI iOS. This would be, in my word, would be a good namespace to be unique. Let's do it. And let's do the same for the Android project, which we first need to reload again. Yes. What? Edit project files. What is going on? Reload failed. Reload. A project with the same name? I don't think so. So, what is going on? Maybe he's now out of sync, but that's not a problem. Let's do it Android, and this is Coding Freaks. No, it was okay. This is the root namespace. Man, I hate this old format. Let's do it that way and this way. Okay. Try again. No, the project name already exists and it makes no sense. So this is a certain point to close your studio. Open your studio again. Xamarin Forms sample and hope for the best. Hoping helps. I hate it. But anyway. Okay. Now that this runs already, we have to clean this up too. So now we have a lot of stuff here. And he is freaking out because he does not know where this comes from. Activity. What are you supposed to do? Android app. So there is Android app. I can see, well, this should not work, but we have to stick with ReSharper to come up now because of the restart. So, stop responding. Oh, tell me something new. And what is going on here? Is he happy? He's kind of happy. Logic UI? No. This was my fault. This is UI iOS simply. At this point, let's go here. UI iOS. Logic is too much. Resources, there's nothing more. This is pretty, that's it. Cool. So ReSharper's happy. And I think I have kind of the same issue here. It is UI Android is cool. Resources, assets, no problem here. It's about this. Let's rebuild this guy. Failed. And he is, I hate it. I rebuild this and he, let's see what happens. If I unload this again, this project, unload, and now I just build the view, what's going to happen? So one thing, the app in app delegate. So what are you searching? You are searching, yeah, Logic UI. Add a reference here. That did it. Rebuild. And maybe that's the issue. Okay, rebuild all succeeded. That's cool. So iOS is building. And now try to reload. Oh, he does it. Add the reference to our logic now, because maybe it's all that's missing. And now rebuild again. And magic. It's about to happen. Failed. So what he is, first he complains and then it disappears. Let us do it again. Maybe bundle is missing. Everything comes into place. The red squiggles disappear. Still failed. Let us see the errors. 23. So what is going on here? Using Android app. So activity using Android app. Oh, he wants the global one. Why? I hate you already. So you want those. And then you are happy or what? Oh, it's doubled now. Yeah, and this guy comes from using Coding Freaks. So let's do this one and let's see what's going to happen. I'm not sure why he needs the global. Nearly there, guys, nearly there. Oh, it takes some time already. He's ramping up. Oh, succeeded. Cool. So with that in place, let's try it out. Let's try Android first, set a startup project. And while we're here, we now are able to, at the top, we are able, if everything is set up correctly, we are able to select which device. We could do a Pixel 5 here. Let's do it. And let's see if debugging is working. So now the simulator comes up. First start experience. And a lot of movement. And now it works, and we have just one tab, of course, because I removed one. And let us just see if we can actually, I think, can we do this? Let's see, app shell. Can we do this with live preview? I don't know. Let's see, where is the tab bar? Here. Shell content, browse. And what happens if I just double this? Is he recognizing this? Yeah. You see, now you have two tabs with exact the same content. This time he goes there in the same thing. And here's the shell content there. Is this, because shell content is kind of weird, I have it in the app XAML. Here it is shell content, it is. Okay, shell content is correct. Okay, here you see, and that's it. It's running. And I think with that we can try out iOS now. And in order to bring iOS to life, I have to connect it to my Mac, which stands right beside me. And you do it with this button, pair to Mac. And let's say connect. I'm not sure what's happening now. If he's pairing, should pair. And for some reason he called it SSH. But it's not what Visual Studio 2022 did. It was the new one. And I think I have to rename it probably somewhere in settings or whatever. It's connected. And with this done, let us use this simulator. What I set up is that the simulator opens here on my PC. You have to understand here, if you're new to Xamarin or iOS development, that this is just a connected simulator which is connected to my Mac. You still need a Mac to do stuff like that. But now what should happen, this is my my Android simulator, and what should happen is that now the iOS simulator comes up, connects to the server, and let us do something like 50%, so we can, what? It's not 50%, guy. 50. It's not 50. 25? Okay. 25 is pretty small. What is with 50? 50 should be okay. Is that 50? Okay, never mind. So that is 50. And now I have this here. And I totally can use this for my starting point. Okay, cool. Let's commit this now. Namespaces fixed and other stuff. Pretty good commit. And I will push this right now so that you guys, if you go to my GitHub link, which I posted at this point, where is it? Is it here? Should be able to see all this stuff happening. Is it pushing? Where to push? See the output window. What did I wrong? Oh, thank you for the output window. What? Okay. Git status. Yeah, I'm ahead. I know. Then push it. Is this branch protected? Oh, I see. This is because I am using a different credentials. So I have to invite this credential to the team, I think. Settings, collaborators. Oh, add me. I'm this one. Yes. Yes. And I am what I am. Is it it? Can I now push? No, because the branches, I think I am pending invite, that's why. So now I have to accept my invitation. Do it. 404 on the invitation link. That is cool. 404. Let's do it here. Let's open up my, should be here. Let's open up my Outlook. So basically, can I see this mail? Pending invite. Oh, I love it. Where did it send it to? It's the question. It sent it to nowhere. Oh man, I hate you. I hate this so much. Can't tell you guys. Oh, it's getting refreshed. Outlook hangs. I love this. Okay. So no comments yet. What should you say? On the other hand, I understand that. So I'm not pushing. I'm waiting. Sorry guys, you have to wait until this thing is working with me. I'm just committing. Cool. Now, this was just normal stuff. Besides the fact that I moved the third project, which contains the logic, to this logic folder and fixed my namespaces and stuff, nothing changed. So one thing which bothers me a lot here is if you look at this template and we talk about MVVM, I have to ask myself if this is MVVM at all. Let me explain why. If you take a look here, for instance, you have the item detail view model, whatever, and you ask yourself, how is this view model injected into the view, which is the item detail page? So how is this going to work here? The answer is code behind, I think. So yeah, what's happening here is that in the code behind of your detail page, you have to create a new item detail view model, which is poor code. And I don't know what's going on. So what is missing here is dependency injection, basically. And dependency injection, you don't implement it by yourself, but you use something which is already there, simple IOC or whatever you use. So what I want to mention here is that this is not the approach I would do. I would create a dependency container and use it, and that's what I'm going to do now. So my goal now is that I somehow rebuild all this stuff depending on other projects. Like for instance, I have one project, which is Dr. Phlox. Dr. Phlox, which is a Star Trek name. And if you don't know Dr. Phlox, then this is my company's Dr. Phlox, and it's an old one. And it is something which is a NuGet package at the end. And the plan here was and is that you get some libraries and that you can do all the MVVM stuff. And Dr. Phlox also uses dependency injection here somehow. Where is it? Source and then logic. And I can remember what I did here. Logic core. What I'm using. I'm using, where are my packages? Is this that all that it has no packages? Oh, it does not need packages? Oh, I love it. It's so cool. It does not need packages. So this depends on selecting some dependency injection at all. So let's do it. So if you want to use dependency injection, you would go to web and search for .NET dependency injection. So there are a lot of packages available. So NuGet. So dependency injection from Microsoft is one option. So let us take a look here. Add NuGet packages, manage them, and then dependency in. Okay. So what you have here is Microsoft extensions dependency injection, and it's backward compatible. So let's try this out. Let's add this NuGet package here, and it worked out. And now let's take a look how we can make this work. So basically you need the starting point of your life cycle in order to bring this to life. So a good starting point would be this one. So here is the point where the current module uses dependency services register. Well, good thing. So dependency services register is like the built-in dependency injection of Xamarin Forms. So, and it uses mock data store to register this. And if we take a look at mock data store, how is it referenced? Who uses this? It's used by nobody in this sample. Another good point why I hate this guy so much. So maybe it's used here, public class, and here you can see somebody in the base view model says, give me an iData store, and he asks, well, I have to admit dependency injection is actually built into this template, but they did it poorly. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. So now there are dependency services, but all of this is done completely manually, which I hate. So what actually is missing, it was not dependency service. Let me remove this line. Let me remove this for the moment. What is missing is a more elegant way to perform the whole step of resolving the dependencies in MVVM. So how can, in WPF. What we can do now, instead of doing this all the time, I leave it there. What we could do now is bring in some component which is part of Dr. Flocks. Let me go there, and maybe I can grab it from there so you don't have to watch me typing all the time. Which is the weak action error. No, it's not this. It is, what is it? It is base. Can I find it here? Locator. That's what it is. A ViewModel locator. So a ViewModel locator here is, this is pretty complicated. Let's do it in a simple way. Let's add a class here. Add class. And let's call it just ViewModel locator. And I take this class from Laurent Bignon, and he had a library MVVM Lite, which was, I found it pretty cool, but it's gone. It's not maintained anymore. And the idea here is basically to say, if somebody needs, let's say you provide a public, and then what do we have? One of the view models. What do I have? Is it, let's say, an item detail view model. If you need an item detail, or no, an items view model, because we have this view. Items view model, if you need this guy is able to deliver it by using, what was it? Dependency service, that's a cheap version. Items view model. So in order for the dependency service to be able to deliver one of those, you have to register it first. Now we are back here. So let's call a method, not doing this way, init di or dependencies. So I'm just doing this to have a clean layout. So I have everything here in one method. And then we do what they did, and then we can actually, how was it? Oh, this is not, let's do this one. And is it, can I do, I don't know, I get distracted here again. So what I want to do is register this item's ViewModel. So basically all you say is, hey, dependency service, you should know now what an item's ViewModel is. So cool. Now I have this ViewModel locator as a public class in my Logic UI. So now if I go here over to my app XAML, what I could do is I could make this a resource. What do I mean with this? I could create a resource which is my ViewModel locator. So how do I do this? I can take this from another point. Let me bring this in. And this is kind of a little bit weird, but it's only weird once. You know what I mean? Then it gets far more easier. I explain this. Let me just take a look here because I have one of those classes here in place. Where is my app XAML? Not there. Logic UI, UI mobile, and then my app XAML. Is it that way? Yeah, I see. Added. And now I can copy this. I just copy all the stuff and paste it in. And then I'm doing this. And then I do ViewModel locator. ViewModel locator, which is in this namespace. And the point is we need to have this D namespace, which comes from Microsoft, and it's old. So, but it should work. D is data source. We have XML as bringing D in, and it should work, but it's not. Let me see. App XAML. Well, he's complaining. Is he building? That's the question. Because I don't. Okay. Is data source is not there. Why? That's a good thing. So Microsoft in this schema should be able to bringing this. So why? We need this. D or is data source is true. This is a very, very important point. Okay. So why is this thing not kicking in? That's a big question. Okay. Xamarin Forms, we need to ask him, this guy, Xamarin Forms, how can I do D as data source? How does that work? Yeah, that's MVVM Lite with Xamarin Forms. Getting started, yes, and what is D as data source? Is data source, yeah. And D here is expression brand, this one. Okay, do I need to reference something else? Build and run. That's what we want to achieve, exactly this. So how do I do this? MVVM Lite, this was Galasoft. And I could totally do this, but it's not maintained anymore. That's why I don't want to use this. D is data source and it's not building. Dependencies, packages. Maybe .NET Standard is not able to do this. Is that true? So maybe D is data source come from something special. So let's D is data source not found. Type not found. XAML property was not found. D, yes. And what is the point? I think is specific to expression blend. Other editors like which won't be able. No, that's not true. By instructions, they ignore this attribute. I think that is true. That is true. Ignorable true. Where is it? Is it in the XMLS? I think that's what I miss. Wait a second. Yeah, absolutely. So I have to put in this guy for whatever reason, and then I can use this namespace to make ignorable true. Oh, that's it. So he's actually right. Let's give him a +1 here because thank you, sir. He's actually right because you have to just ignore the warnings because it's something that comes out of Blend. So now this should work. We now have a resource which is globally available, which is called ViewModel Locator, and has, or which is of type ViewModel Locator, which is our class, and it has the key PageModel Locator. So that's it. The cool thing is, if we go to the ViewModel Locator, for whatever reason, we put a breakpoint in a CTO, in a constructor. So we want to see, is this going to be called, yes or no? And we run the application on iOS. We should hit this breakpoint, because when the app XAML comes up, he wants this resource to be a static resource inside of the dictionary. And in order to have a resource of it, he needs to create an instance. So let's see if this is going to happen. And here you are. He is calling the constructor, which is the proof. Let's continue. That this line worked. So we now have this. So this DS data source was pretty important at this point. Let us switch this out. This is pretty important, as you will see in a minute. Now, let's stop here because we are not finished yet. So in order now to tell the view which view model it should use. So we have item details, or the items page, this one. And now what you can do here is, in the data context, is it here? Because currently it's done content page, where is it? Content page binding context. So it should be binding context. What is going on? No. This one. Are you fine with me? Okay. What is binding context? And now in order to make this, we add a binding for the binding context. So, sounds weird. So what we do is, we just call source is static resource, and it is our view model locator, page model locator. It's a bad key, by the way, but anyway. And here we can say items view model. And we even get, you saw that? Let us go here and rename it to view model locator. That's a better name. Let us do this. So now what we say is the binding context should be generated automatically. The XAML here knows how to retrieve a binding context by simply going here to this resource, which is pointing to this line. So we have this resource sitting here and waiting, and that's why this needs to be a data source. Because only if it's a data source, it can be applied to a binding context. So, and from this source, we need this property to be the binding context. And this property is what? Is of type items view model. With that in place, we should be able now to get rid of this line of code here, because we don't need this anymore. And we don't need this read-only view model stuff. We don't simply need it. And let's see. And we don't need this guy because we can do this later. He wants us to bring on appearing into the view. So this leaves us with just the constructor. That's it. So now that we have this, let's see what's happening to our application. Is it still working, or does it need this call to view appearing? Let's see. And it's not loading data, as you can see, because the appearing is never called. Let us take a look at the view model. It's the items view model. And now when is data loaded here? On appearing, it's is busy true. And then when is the actual stuff loaded? Items is this, loaded items, blah, blah, blah. Is this loading? On edit, on items selected, what the heck is going on? Where is this loading here even... Oh, it is brought into place because it's only running if the load items command is executed. I see. So what we could do here is we could say, you know what? This is kind of strange all the time here. Is busy is true on appearing, and in appearing is not happening. It's not called anymore. Is this even connected? No, probably not. Let's see. It should be here, I think. This is on appearing. Yeah, and now we're stuck with the problem that we have to raise this all stuff. So what was it in the item detail view model? Yes, yes, yes. Methods on appearing is on appearing here. No, it's not here anymore. It's only on the items view model. Let us take a look in the old code behind. So how was it done? It was, here was an event, the override on, oh, I see, an override on appearing, and he's calling view model on appearing. So that is bad. So what can we do here? All about this, we can do it differently. So we go to, I just have to think it through. So the items view model in the constructor, basically, we could call the load in the constructor, which is bad because loading in a constructor is not a good idea. So how can we then ensure that our view is calling this? Where is our view? On appearing, let me see. And how is this done in the other stuff? It's base view model, CTOR. So this view needs to call its binding context to tell him. Can we do it? The question is, can we do it here? So if we have this, can we have the on appearing bound? No, where is the content page? Does it have the properties? Where are the properties here of view? Oh, it's empty. It's empty. I love it. I can't have it because I don't have the designer. So where are my events? Appearing, here it is. And now I could do this that way, but it would be the same. And now this is a command, and I could do the following. I can go here. I have just the view model. Let's try it out. And this could be a command in the view model, and it is the load items command. Maybe. It's as bad as it was. So let's see. Binding load items command. So what does he say? Event appearing is, this is an event? To be honest, I don't know what's going to happen now. I think it breaks. No. Bindable property appearing, a mismatch between. Yeah, it's not bindable to this one. That's bad. What can we do here? So that's where things get messy. Let's try out the dirty way first so that we get results. Items view model will just load the freaking items just right away. So let us do this. Selected item, all this can be. Now execute load items. I don't want to do this. It's just load items. Way to load items async because it's a far more better name. And then we get rid of the command because we don't need it anymore. Load items command. Is it still bound? Wait a second. Is it on refresh or something? This is await load items async, and this kind of thing. And now what if I just simply call load task run load items async. Bad style, guys. Bad style. But I just do it. Load items async. Okay, what do you want? Convert to method group. Oh, I can convert it. Okay, load items async. Do it in a task so you can leave the freaking constructor as soon as you possibly can. And is busy true. This is on appearing. We don't call on appearing anymore. But his setting is busy true too. Let's see. Is he loading now? Again, this is bad style. I don't like it and we have to do something about it. But stick with me just a second. Let's build it and run it on iOS. And see if this guy gets populated now. Yeah, it does. So if I click here, the problem with this is that it's not the logic which was meant because it's populating once and not on appearing. So we have somehow to be able to map certain properties of the view to the view model, which is not that easy. It can be done, but it's not that easy. But for the place to be, that would be a good starting point. So now that we got rid of this, we could actually do this for all the other view models. We could handle this and just for every view model that is there, we could say we need one for the item detail view model. It is strictly all the same. And then this one. And then we could say we need one more for the, what is it, login view model. You see where this is headed to. So why is this a good idea? For several reasons. First of all, if you are always using this locator, you can control if you, for instance, want to use just a singleton of this. Now, if you do this in code behind all the time, you have to select, well, every time he wants a login view model, I want to give him not a fresh one, but every time the same login view model. Now you can handle this here. I don't even know if this dependency injector can do it, because here you can say, yeah, it's a simple way. You could say fetch from global instance. I think this is kind of saying I need a singleton. Okay, and this is always a new instance. So if we do this, we could say, you know, every time somebody wants some of those models from you, just give him a new instance or give him always the same instance, stuff like that. But you control it completely inside of the construct of the class here. Plus, you get full IntelliSense and you don't have to take work. Let me show you an example what they do here in the items page. What they do somewhere is they define the type here in the refresh view. I think this is obsolete now. Why? They do this because when they don't use the binding context in XAML, they have to define here the X data type so that subsequent XAML elements can know what is available. If we leave this away, it is still able to perform the bindings. Where is it here? Which we can see because he knows that there are items. It's complete IntelliSense. It's so easy to handle. You don't have to use the X type stuff. This one completely goes away. So if we do this, even the commands are bound correctly. This is a command, and now I see what the event handler was. Yeah, I was dumb. That's all I was. So event handler, you can bind it to, and we can handle this without any problem. Let us see how it's done. I forgot. It is WPF event handler binding. I forgot. In ViewModel? In ViewModel. How is this done? Oh, I forgot all this textbook. Yeah. As my ViewModel method to execute. Well, that's exactly what I don't want to do. So is it an event handler as a delegate? So if I have in my ViewModel, in this one, if I have a delegate matching on appearing object, what is it? Sender event args E. I don't need them, but here. So can I bind to this? Is this all it takes? It is public, it is in the ViewModel. So can I now, let me get rid of those items page, XAML, CS, no, those. Can I bind to this? And I have appearing, binding. What kind of binding is this? Is this, no. How can I bind? Oh, guys, I forgot. That's not good. MVVM, event handler, binding. Event binding from view to ViewModel. Yeah, exactly. How do you do it? Parent view. It is this. I get the ViewModel from the binding context and activate my ViewModel from there. What? Yeah, I know. But, here it is. I interaction trigger, I event trigger. Oh, thank you, sir. Hey, it is in, let us see here, content. It is, let me see, I think it is inside of what? Of the resources? Is it inside of the resources? It is inside of this. And I just put it in. That's correct. So now all I have to do is to give him what he wants. Interaction. You see, interaction triggers. He does not know what interaction triggers is. Can I even use this? Here, event trigger is coming from here, and it would be appearing. And invoke command, and command is load items command. That would be. Now we need those types, interaction triggers. And what do you need? You need, he tells this one, is that true? And then I. Is it working? Please. Please, sir. No. It's strictly not working. I need you guys. Xamarin Forms event trigger. No. Don't do it. I interaction, and this comes from. Do I need to include something? All you need to expression blend. Damn it. It is part of the blend SDK. Do we have a NuGet package for this? I hate it. Did I tell you this? Okay. Expression. Can we have it? Can we have blend? For those of you who don't know what blend is, oh, wait a second. No dependencies? WPF 4 and 4.5? Windows Phone, Windows Store? Can we do better than this? Expression brand SDK? It's not official at all. Blend interactivity. Who is it? Who? By Andres. No, I don't trust you guys. Blend interactivity WPF by Microsoft. No dependencies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whoa. This event trigger. What? Interactivity should be I. This is I. I see what it's going to be. Let's use I here, and I, and I. So what is yelling at me? I event trigger. Trigger collection. Why? I event trigger, event name. What? System Windows interactivity event trigger. Invalid type. Expected is trigger collection. Actual type is event trigger. Why is trigger collection expected? I don't get the point. Is it I? Oh, here. Oh, no. I interaction triggers. Okay, that was correct. What am I doing? What? Trigger collection? What is trigger collection? Go ahead. Trigger collection. Maybe it's a collection right now. And then a trigger. Yes. Oh, you see? So far, so good. Never ever will this word. Must be public. Okay, cool. Handle it. And then we have command name. Command name is, oh, it's modernized. Never ever will this work. Is it even building? No. No attachable property triggers is found. Okay, there it goes. So let us see what we got here. So it's something new, which I don't know, but you know, it's all about exploring stuff like that. So what we have here is, it's going on. No. This will not work at all. He's so unhappy. That's not compatible. Forget about this. Okay, we can forget about this totally. Remove this. No interactivity for us. Okay. Let's get away with this. It's not working. So, first of all, no. I need EB. What is EB? Event binding. Simple naming to find. EB is command name. What? Event binding. No way. Appearing is EB. No, what should that be? Well, the way to do is WPF event binding to ViewModel. List box, mouse down my callback function. Yes. And what do? Data method binding. What is data method binding? Supports markup extension on events using capital versatile binding. That is a binding extension. Okay, cool. He built it by its own. So how? Where is your binding extension? I wanted this to work, yes. Method binding extension. Storage properties, develop get unused. What? Method binding extension, path object. It's creating a method. And then what? Okay, that is uncool. That's more than uncool, because when I do stuff like that, when I need to do stuff like that, honestly, I could do another thing. Totally. I go to my ViewModel, and now I do the following. Okay? What I can do, now let's get serious, boys. Let's get rid of this. And now do the following. Items ViewModel. And now, how can I get by reflection the view of the ViewModel? Do I want this even? No. And if the binding context, oh, see, can I do it maybe in the code behind here? What do I have? Override, what is it? Is it on appearing? Why not? Yeah, why not? Just use your brain. Let's do the same. So, what is content page? Content page is, what's the type here? It's a templated page. It's content page. And is templated page something else? Do we have to be aware of other page types in Xamarin Forms? It's a content page. It's a content page. It's a content page. Everything is a content page here. So what if we do the following? Add new folder, base types. And what if we say we have a new class which is called base content page, which is public abstract. And now we do the following, which is deriving from content page. And do we have property changed? On property changed. Yes, we have. So if we have on property changed, we could do the following. If property name equals name of binding context. So if the binding context changes, we can do the following. If binding context is base ViewModel, if this is that, then can we say that appearing is an event plus equals SE moves to ViewModel on appearing. So we do this. Now the base ViewModel does not contain something like that. So what we need is public virtual void on appearing, and it does nothing. Now in the base ViewModel, on appearing is called. Cool. And now the items ViewModel should yell at us that on appearing is this one, and this is a base ViewModel, but it is a base ViewModel. It's okay. And the base ViewModel now has public virtual on appearing. So if this is true, that should yell at object sender. I don't need this. I did it. Okay, now he's yelling, and we say we override this. It's not because we need it. So now we have this, and with this in place, let me think. It should call on appearing now. Let me see. I removed everything. Oh, and all I need to know now, I have to do this one. This is my items page. Has now to inherit from my base content page. Yes, sir. And the base content page here, I think it should be the same. Now it's a base content page. The items page is happy. Well, guys, let's see if this works. It's not ready, but if this works, it's a no-brainer. It built, at least. Man. Love it. And it's again working. You see this? The spinner is coming up. It works like before. So now we have to ask ourselves, are we doing something very bad? Let's see if one thing which is pretty bad, if this gets called more than once. It does. Model on appearing. So The binding context, by the way, is this because we get a new instance all the time? Is it removing the instance? Wait a second. How do we know? Is the items page here, is this called all the time? No, the constructor not. So it should not generate always a new thing of this. Does it? No. So then why the binding context changes all the time? Question mark. Let me see. Why is this changing all the time? I already thought about this. So let me see. If I stop this, there's another one. Override on changing. By the way, do I have to do this? Can I just simply do this and tell him just to call it? Because I think it's far more easier to do this one than do that one. Sometimes I'm in my own way. I know this. So let's see if this is fast enough. I don't know if it's good style. I have to think of this a little bit, but I just want, what do I want to achieve? I want to use dependency injection in a way that I can concentrate on views and then don't have to think about do the code behind all the time. So basically I want, it works. I want to get rid of, the spinner is coming, not here, but here. Don't know why exactly. Maybe because of two of them, I don't know. So thank you for restarting, Mr. Schmidt. So that makes no sense. Stop it. Totally stop it, please. Oh, I should not do this in the process of starting because I killed the simulator. Well, that was a great idea, I think. I think this was a pretty great idea because now he does not know anything. Who am I, why am I, and where am I? Let's kill the process because I'm already pretty sure that this won't do anything. So let us reopen the studio. A thing you get pretty used to when you work with complex systems, but I don't want to yell at this because it's a complicated stuff. Okay, you have one system developing for multiple platforms, and I don't want to yell at anybody because I think this is kind of crazy shit going on, that this actually works. So let us take a look now what I won with all this acrobatic, and it still just works on items page. So by inheriting from my base, I don't think you want to know. If by inheriting from not content page, but from my content page, which is this type, I just simply created a new wrapper type, abstract. And now I have this one method here, which should be, come on. Yes. Okay, try again. Oh, my notebook is off. Sorry. Try it. Cool. So by this one has just one override on appearing, and if the content page appears, it simply calls the ViewModel on appearing, but only if this ViewModel is of type base ViewModel, which also means that this is not null. It is not null, because if it's null, it can't be base ViewModel. That's it. So that was my first step. So now my ViewModel on appearing works, whatever. So next step is I removed all the code behind, regardless of constructor, from my actual page. Cool. And then what I did, I went over to my XAML of the page and I added the binding context here. That's all. I don't have to do anything more. So by adding it to the binding context, I can get rid of all this stuff. I don't need a name here. Okay, all the warnings can go away. We don't need this. So this is good stuff here right now because it's only display stuff and binding. Nothing is, you know, going to be dirty, messed up. We don't point to use code behind here. And I think it's worth the effort. Okay, cool. This page is clear. And now when we have this, we need the ViewModel locator. That was the ingredients. Thank you. This one is pretty important with this key because we have to use it here as the binding context. So by using this, we also get rid of this X data type stuff. We don't need it. And by the way, ancestor type, go to the items view model. Oh, I hate those stuff. But anyway, it's okay. Item tabbed. Okay, cool. And with this, we can now be glad that everything works as expected. We don't need external resources because we wrote this ViewModel locator by our own. It's not perfect, but it works. And now we can handle everything in the base type. That's nice. Let's do a commit. That means items page is on new DI now. DI and binding. Dependency injection and binding is completely new. Cool. Commit this. Now we should do this for all the other pages, which means, first of all, this type needs to be in the base types because it's a base view model. It needs to be here and it needs to resharp a help. So that is, you know, this one method makes me very patient when it comes to loading times here in resharp because he will not only rename the namespace, but he will move every occurrence of the namespace. As you can see here, opened everything, just get rid of this, and cool. So now we have the two base classes. All we need now is we need to make this happen. So those are view models. Just leave them and say that's base view model, everything okay, query property, I know. And now let's go to the views and let's see what we can do. So first of all, let's copy the binding context from here. So the details page, the same. And it should be not the items view model, but the item detail view model. And with that in place, he should understand the binding. And this should be true. Yeah, binding description. He knows what a description is, what a text is, everything. So works like a charm. Okay, same. Let's do the same for the login page, which is login view model. And now again, it should work. And is there binding? Yeah, login command. Cool. And then this should work for new item too. So we don't have something like this. That's because we have to define it in our thing. It's missing, what is it? New item view model. 1, 2, 3. Resharper, turn it into something cool. We have new item view model. And now the binding should work. And we totally, here, you see that is bad stuff too. I see it right now. The title of the content page is kind of messed up, but let's take care of this later. So now what we need to do is we need everything to derive from base content page, which is here, which is this. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do this. Why we do this? So that our magic works in every of the forms. Let's see if this happened here too. No. We have to do it here too in the code behind, base content page. Can I leave this out, by the way? Is this okay for him? I'm not sure. Let's try. Let's try if this is okay to leave this, because not writing something sometimes is better than just saying something which is not working as expected. So is this working? This is my question. Notice that we only make changes in the logic UI all the time. That's what I like about the Xamarin template. By changing logic UI, you actually make it work. Okay, it's just working. I like it. How late is it? Like 2 hours? No, it's 1.5 hours now. Let's head over to maximum of 2 hours. Because it's Saturday and it's late. Guys, it's late. What's about my mail? Oh, view invitation. Now I'm pretty interested. Here you go. This is my invitation. Now, the problem with this is, I see copy URL. Can I copy this URL? Oh man. We need to do something. We need to, in order to accept my invitation, if I am the same person. No, guys, let's hop over to GitHub/codingfreak, and I'm logged in as this guy. And now I have to sign out. And now I have to click the invitation. And now I got this. That is me. Is it working? Ah, here you see, accept invitation. Cool. Can I now push? I can, magically. So that means you guys can see the source code, at least the latest version. I'm pretty glad. Okay, that is working. Just a side note. Now this came up. Now we have data, like it. So can we go into, yeah, it's loading. And can we create a new one? And can we tell it, hi, there, what is going on? Yes, save. Hi there is there. I'm not sure if this performance is great here. Hi there, and everything is working. Okay, so my changes are working. So let's stop here. And let's say all views are inheriting correctly. And now I think, no, it's not true, because my detail page, I think currently maybe has binding context doubled. Get rid of it. Here. And what is this? Why is an item here in the code behind? Can we talk this over? This thing is screwed up completely, in my opinion. Login page, what's just going on? No, don't use this one. You get the binding context, just like that. No, sir. Let's just do this. You too. And then let's talk over this. It has no references. And it is the new item. And what is going on? The new item is, for what does it, new item view model. Why is there an item, and what is an item at all? Item is this. And this should be part of the view model, not of the view, to be honest. So what is the new item view model doing? It is text description. Well, that's stupid. That is stupid. That's why. Oh, I see. That was it because the route? No, can be. So let us take a look again at new item page. This is so screwed up. So it is saying text. No, you don't need to do this. This is strictly stupid and comes out of the way. It's not stupid, but it comes out of the reason that they didn't bind it correctly. So now they're struggling, and they are taking this item thing, which is already a model up there. They're taking this item thing, and now somehow they are, breaking out of the item by exposing the properties. And, it's so screwed up at this point. So let us go here and make it correctly. This is a view model, okay? And what if I say, we just say, get rid of this, and just say item is item. Okay, let's do this. Set property is not text is item and item. We have to take care of this too. I hate it. And now, oh, you see, value. And now here we just need one which is of type item and this item. So he handles the item constructor. What's going on? Save command, property changed, can execute change. Oh man. So anyway, this is a new item on save. Oh, because he has no item, though that is poor. That is idiocy. We just say item, put this to the store, and then we say if a new command kicks in. Anyway, we could say it. Yeah, we could say item is new item. So now validate save. This is cool. This is cool. What they do here, the ViewModel is now responsible, and by the way, in a very strange way. Okay, so the ViewModel is here responsible for checking it. So why do we have a model in place here? Why not doing this one? Why not doing, this is the item property, prop bool is valid. Okay, and this is a calculated auto property, which read only, which is just saying this in a correct way. So text must not be empty and description must not be empty. Okay, that's the case here. So that is the content of is valid. So instead of doing this, you just say item is valid. So you leave it to the item to explain it by itself. So validate save, when is it called? Here, save command. And now you can say just item is valid. And that's not working because he needs, obviously, he needs a method which is this one. So now we can get rid of this. So the point here is that the save command is just clickable when the item is valid. So now the point is that it will not work. Okay, we will see. It will not work. Why it will not work? Okay, let's see. It will not work. I think the button is never going to be enabled. Yeah. I see. That's the problem here. Guys, don't do this to me. Okay, new item, and now and it's not gonna be enabled. So why is this? Is it enabled? Actually, I can't see it clearly. It's not, I think. Is it happening? No. So why is this? Because he is sticking to itself to property changed in order to get informed if some of the properties changed. So he is doing the following: if any of the properties are changing, he's executing, he's checking if the button state is changed. So what we could do here, new item, is this is, where is item? Here. And we totally could say this is notify property changed. So notify property changed. If you don't know what it is, never mind. It is an interface which is used by all those components. So now if we do it that way, so you could argue, you know what, I hate it already, because we now have on every property change, on every setter, we have to raise this event. And I'll tell you, no, we don't have to. There's a package doing this for you. And we bring in this package, which is called add manage NuGet packages, which is FODI property changed. FODI, or property changed FODI, sorry. Just let's install this. I accept. And you have to keep in mind that property changed is just a package which you don't program. It's working on build time. In order for it to work on build time, I don't know why it's not going to be added here. Normally it should add a file. Let me bring this file in. It's documented. You need to bring in 2 files, add existing item here. Those 2 files, 40 viewers, all files. We need those 2 files. This XSD is not needed, it's just to ensure that everything is fine. And the 40 viewers here, they're telling him from all the 40 modules use the property changed. So actually what should happen now is that it finds this class and it will automatically put in events to raise the property change in the complete assembly. So with that in place, let's rethink the complete thing. So now if we are in the item, we know that this property gets fired and everybody's involved. And now in the new item ViewModel, what we can do is, instead of listening to our property changed, we just go to the newly created and just hit on property changed of this thing. Plus equals, yeah, and yeah. And basically we do the same. Okay, we just tell him, you know what? If one of the properties of this thing changes, no matter which property, execute the save property change, please. And to be sure that this is set before we just take care of the commands. Now he's not complaining, saying it could be null if it gets too early, whatever. So what we now say is change can execute. Let's see what's happening here, if this works. If this now works, this means that 40 worked, okay, that it raised this property changing for us. Let's test this. And if this is too complicated, maybe I should do an extra demo, just a short one, a quick one, that you understand what 40 property changed is actually doing for you. This is awesome, this tool, awesome. It is code generation working for us. So it generates code when you build, when you compile. It adds code. So let's see, add, I hope it works. Blah, 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 save. No, it didn't. So why? Why? So item property changed. Let us hit a breakpoint here. Is this not working? No. Why? Oh, I yelled and I screamed and it's not working. Item is property change. What is missing here? Let me think about this just for a second. When this is property changed, is it? Oh, wait a second. Do I have to include it in the build? Let us take a look in the other project. Because normally when you bring in the NuGet package, he will add this NuGet weavers for you. And I think might be, just a second, logic, UI. And then we have the CS project here. And what is he doing? Is he using property changed and we should add private assets? But anyway, no, he is not using this at all. Okay, let us look here. And now what they say is you should add private assets all. Private assets all. You should do this in order to explain that this is not delivered. Okay, cool. But why aren't you... Okay, let's... Oh, whoa. What's going on? Property changed 40. Is it not good? What? Rebuild. Errors? Succeeded. I'm suspicious. We changed the CS project. If we are suspicious, the first thing we do, restart Visual Studio. Clear as hell. Okay, is it still complaining? rebuild. And you know what? Just make it happen. We just test it out. Oh man, no. Let's put it in a new Visual Studio and let's try it out. So basically, we create new project. Let's do a console application. So I can explain you guys what this does. If we have a console app, okay, cool. And it's .NET 6, maybe next. Now we put it in my throwaway folder. And now next, and then .NET 6. Okay. I know .NET 6, but it should work regardless of the framework because it's compile time. Okay, cool. Now I get this minimal without anything thingy. Yeah, console write line. Love it. So manage NuGet packages. And now again, search for property changed 40. Come on, install. Yes, I accept. So it again did not bring in everything. So what is going on? Property changed? Is there another package? Am I missing something? No. There's another one too. Okay, cool. Well, what is going on with Fody? Can I bring in Fody so that maybe this is a problem? I accept. Okay. But normally, now I have Fody and this, and it should bring Fody. Yeah, you see, I don't need this explicit Fody. Should not need it. So let's take away this express, this second one. And you see, at this time he said private assets all without any problem. So cool. So let's do the following. Let's go to program and let's create a class. Sample is I notify property changed. Cool. Let's implement the interface. That's it. And it has this one, and maybe this is missing. I think this is missing. Ah, I'm an idiot. But now let's check. I think this virtual method must be there. Okay, let's go here and say we have a property which is of type string, and it's called foo. And now we want to use this in our program. Var test is new foo, then new sample. Okay, cool. Wow, sample then. Okay, I just create a new instance. Then I'm sticking to my property changed. Plus equals s. Give me this delegate. Okay, have se console write line. E property name. That's it. And then after I did this, I said foo equals hello. So what we should see now, if I have a breakpoint here, no. Why? No weavers found. I hate you. Yeah. There it is. There is the weavers. Ah, you see? And it's property changed. Okay, can we go now? So Fody is complaining there were no weavers. So what now? No weavers found. For the configuration entry, add the desired weavers via the NuGet package. I see. I did. Oh, I removed the wrong one. I did. So I can remove this guy. So that's correct. Dip. Execute. Let's see. It's working. I bring here and now let's see. No output yet. So no, this is the wrong one. No output yet. So if I now hit the next, why? Can I still step over? No, I can't. Guys, I'm unhappy. Let me do this again. Okay. I go here, step over. And now what? Where are we? Damn it. Is something working here still? Can I just execute the program? And can I be here? Yeah, it is called. And property changed is not null. And now I'm going over, but he's not console right lining it for me. Why? So property changed is called. This is obscure. So what is missing here in my code, I think I know it, in my model is, no, it's there. Okay, cool. Let's do this and let's see if this gets called. Guys. Life is not easy nowadays. Come on. We want to see it. Build succeeded. I'm glad. So let's close this test area and let's see if here on the item view model this gets called. If this gets called, this is a proof that Fody kicks in, but then I don't understand what is going on. Oh, it's already get called. I'm on item, property name is ID. Okay, cool. Property name is valid. Cool. Property name is text. Okay. Property name is valid. Okay. This is called a lot of times because it's part of this other model here, of this model. So add, let's go here now, hit the breakpoint, because if I now change something, it's not binding. I see, I know why. Because I'm so an idiot. I think the item detail page is still... And he's not complaining. That's the worst part about it. Item dot no. What is going on? Item detail view model has a property which is no. No, why? Why? Tell me why. Wait a second. What did I do? Guys, what did I do? I'm so confused right now. Let me close everything up. I think everything is okay, but we not use what we should use. Item, new item page. No. Bad. Don't do it. Thank you. Then new item view model has this one. This is new item view model. Okay, this is correct because I have to check the correct view. I was on the wrong view, was I? And now here and there and everything, okay. The question now is, when this is true, then on the new item page here, he is now saying, well, you are dumb. This binding is item text. This is item dot description. And now it should work. Add, please work. Blop, blop, save. No. So now, but we can debug now. New item view model should have this executed. This is the plan. And is it, I'm not sure how the binding works. No, it is not. So, but what we can do now is, this is item, this is us hooking on property changed, and then we can go to item and see if this gets invoked. If we change anything here, no, it's not. That's interesting. So this property, this is working, but not right now on the binding. So something is still odd here. So what we are doing, we have this new item view model, and we are binding to the text property and to this. Mode is two-way. And by the way, update source event name is property changed. Update source event name is the former update source trigger, I think, and it should work. So as we type, we want to update. So it's not working as expected. So this is that. Is the binding working at all? So we can test this by saying that the new item view model has If we create it, we can say text is, was it text? No, new item. What was it? This is my new, oh man. Text is new item. So now, is the binding working or am I completely dumb? We wait. I unlock my Mac. In any case. Interestingly enough, if I am paired, he can go sleep. But not if he's not paired yet. He cannot go to sleep. Add. No. See this? The binding is not working. Am I dumb? Yeah, I am. I know. But cancel. Cancel. Oh, I see. Do I have exceptions somewhere? Something. No binding failures. Cancel is not working. Nothing is working here. So I think what I actually see is that everything is set up correctly, but I made an error in defining the context here. Can it be? Let's see. The new item page says your binding context is the new item model, ViewModel from the ViewModel locator. Cool. Now, iOS page use safe area. Okay, cool. That's not the point. Spacing, stack layout, everything is okay. And those binding don't work. They simply don't work because none of the commands is actually executed. Nothing happens. Why is this? It can't be what we did. Let me just get rid of this for the moment because I always hated this. But let's see. I don't know. So why is this not working? We can go here and go to the new item page and check if something went wrong. This is okay. All is okay. But what we can do is we could basically, what actually could be is that this thingy on appearing, and if we go here and see if the base gets called on appearing, let's see if our on appearing stuff works. So is our inheritance working? That's what I'm checking now. Oh, the time, like 8 minutes to my goal. Let's see, possible, but maybe 10 minutes more. Who knows? It's Saturday, guys. I have to work at 10 tomorrow, but anyway, that's my problem. Okay, go here. It is appearing, F11. Yes, it is a base content page of mine. And now this is not, it has no binding context. Binding context is null. I see. I got this. We have no binding context. Now we know the reason why nothing is working here. Okay, cool. So that means my ViewModel locator, oh, idiot. You know what, guys? This thing is not registered in the dependency service, I think. Here you go. None of them is registered. So we need to do this. We need one for, guys, for the item detail view model, and we need to do this for the login view model. So this is registering those types. So if you don't register them, this thing will not throw an exception. It will do another thing, but you know what? We could do with this. Throw new what application exception, no view model found in DI. So let's go ahead and do this all the time, which is pretty bad code, but we are currently at a pretty early stage. Maybe we should do a second part if you guys want this. So if this returns nothing so that we get informed during our lifetime, let's throw an exception. If the left part is null, we get an exception here. So this now not only should not give us an exception currently, but it should finally work. Please, sir. What do we want to see here? we want to see that our binding works, which we already see if new item is standing there. And then we have a clean MVVM approach here. If we hit add, thank you, sir, thank you. And now save is working as soon as we enter something. And so, but look at the beauty. Look at the beauty, guys, in my opinion. So why is save now working again? The ViewModel is completely empty. Not completely, to be honest, but the ViewModel just has the item. It has a save and a cancel command because that's what it's responsible for. And then what he's saying is the save command should be enabled as soon as the item is valid, and it should be disabled if this property says I'm false. And to ensure that this happens, we hook on the property changed of the item, not of ourselves, of the property changed of the item, okay? And now we can go here and say, whenever one of the properties of the item changes, you just check if you can execute save. And that's why the button instantly is enabled. That's how I do it. So now with this in place, can I actually do code behind stuff without reloading? Is it working? Oh, see, no. The answer is simply no, because this is only working if you change something in XAML. Okay, let's hit again. And now we have a clean approach. Problem with that currently is, what I don't like now is that our ViewModel locator he's stupid. Every time I have a new ViewModel, I ought to go here and create a new property and be sure to, that is not the worst part of it, because I would recognize if I have not a property in the locator, I don't see it on the binding. So the worst part is this one. This is pretty annoying to me, because it says every time I add a new ViewModel, I have to think about adding it here too. But you can make it better than this. I'll show you just in a second. Go add, and let's find out. Save. Still works. Close this guy. That was a mistake. Again, I closed my simulator. Anyway, let's wait this time and not stop, because I don't think he likes stopping. Guys, let's stop it. Okay, he overlived this. So, and now with that in place, let's do all views are inheriting correctly. And now the big thing here is one of the views is still dumb, which is the detail page, because the detail page again is kind of binding against a text property. It's the same problem like it was with the other guy here with, how is it called? With this, where is it? So this is clear. So here, this ViewModel is doing the same stuff. You see this? We don't need 3 properties. Damn it. We need 1 property. So he is going here to load an item by its ID. You can totally do it, but just have 1 item. This is this item thingy. Okay. Okay. And please call it dash underline item and not this way. So now you have this, and now we go underline item equals this, and that's it. You can, this mapping logic is, I don't need it. And only thing I need is item. Basically no. In the current thing, we need it here. Item of type item. We just talk about set property because this gets on my nerve. I want auto properties all the time. How do I do this? Why is set property? What is this doing? We have a look at this in a second. So let's do this. Let's do that. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. So we just simply have an item, for God's sake. Okay, everything's okay. Load item is loading it, and that's it. So here, query property. Well, I don't know if this is still needed. Is it because it's a property? Because of this deep linking? Maybe. Maybe I was too eager. Let me see this in the history. Let me see. I always forget this stuff. Item detail view model. See this? Now what it's doing, you have this item ID and it's calling load. Oh God, I hate it. But you know, this is how you need it because I think you can just leave this out, do nothing. Can I do nothing? Get, and can I return null? Can I return string empty because I never leave it out? Or no, can I just say item ID, that's it. And if it's, that's it. And now I simply say no, load item by ID by value. That is it, I think. Now this is working, and maybe I should, yeah, totally. It should work just fine. Let us see this in work. If you don't understand this, this is just because in Xamarin Forms you have this property which is saying, you know what, it could be that you are called with a route, a part of a route. So somebody calls you your view, and your view is called with slash and then a number or whatever. And you just pass them in to which property to match this, what is passed after the slash, basically. Sorry, guys. So first of all, details. If I click here, nothing is happening because the binding is wrong. Now, the detail page now binds to text, which is not working. We should bind to item.text. What we wanted to do all the time because we hate this direct binding. So if I now go here, it still not works. It's the item detail view model, and now we have to check if he is calling load item here. Let's see. Yeah, he does. F11 load item ID. Yeah, it works. And now it works. It just was, I think, Xamarin coming in our way on debugging. Fourth item. No. Oh, you see, it just takes time. It takes time for him to load the item? Okay, fine. I see. Sixth item. It's loading. It's loading. Okay, cool. That works with charm. And now take a look what we got. The detail page is empty. We have no code behind. The detail view model is simple because it completely depends on our items. So now we have a model which is, you know, it's doing its stuff. It's responsible for itself. So we can test this thing without any problem. One could argue this is kind of a view model. No, it isn't, because it has no commands or stuff like that. It's just a property changed event handler. So, and if you think, well, you know what, this sucks because I always have to think about this. Well, you're right. So if this is true, then go to your base types, and now it gets ever more abstract but convenient. Create a new class, call it base model, whatever your naming convention is. Make it public abstract so that nobody comes to the idea that maybe it's a good idea to create an instance of it. Yes, you heard. And now you need, basically, we can do it here. Implement. So this is ReSharper helping me out on property changed. Everything is cool. So now all we have to do is, this is a base model. And because it's a base model, it already knows how to do this stuff. And now you're completely, you know, it gets spooky right now, okay? Because it works. It will work. It will just raise the property changes. See why? Let me show you. And it should work without any problem. So the nice thing is, if this changes or this changes, the isValid property is recalculated automatically because it just works. Hi. Why is containers here? I don't know. So add a there. It just works because this thing is inheriting. All you need to remember now is inheriting from base model. It can't be so hard to remember this. Okay, so that's it. And now, yeah, if you, all the fruits are hanging low right now, okay, at the moment. So if you want to generate a new view and a new view model, what are you supposed to do? Let's create a new view and call it new item. It's a content view here. And let's call it my view, just for the sake of fun. So my view, all we have to remember, is not a content view, it is a base content view, which means this thing comes from, am I dumb? Again, base content page, sorry, which means I needed a base content page. I'm sorry, base content page. So this means this is a base content page content, is that correct? Did I do it wrong? Content page content. No, you leave it this way. It's correct. So now, hello Xamarin Forms. I have this one. Next step, step 2, is create a view model. Okay, cool. Add class, what is it? My view model. And to make things easy, come on, public class, and just inherit it from base view model, which is this one. Cool. Now I have base view model. Give it a property which is called prop. Oh, by the way, I have to do it. Private string, I don't know, message. And then currently we have to do public string message. And the getter will be return the message, and the setter will be set property ref message with the value. I think that's it, and we get rid of this soon. Okay, cool. Now we have the view model. Now all we have to do is currently, if we have the view model, we go to our app XAML here, and we call this thing and tell him, you know what, if you need a my view model, if we need one, this thing knows how to get a my view model. So that's it here. And now we can go to the page and just copy out this binding context thing because we can remember. My view gets now the context, but not this view model, but the my view model. As we see, it has not the property. So the ViewModel locator has to be changed, but it's copy and paste. Copy and paste. My view model, my view model, my view model, or exception. So with that, he's happy. He has IntelliSense, my view model. Okay, cool. And then we can say label text and watch what happens. Binding message. Victory. So with that in place, all we have to do, we have to show the page. Let us go in the app shell. And let's say the second one is my, and it's my view. My view. Oh, I just messed it up, I see. Anyway, guys, my view on the second one with the same icon. End of error. My view is, yeah, I know, just get rid of it. You don't need this because it's already in the global. Oh, guys, please. I removed this because it is here. You see this? This thing, compile, is part of the global assembly info, and that's why you can remove it as an attribute above the view. It's just obsolete. It's just clutter. You can remove it. And now let's see what happens here. Basically, no. Do I run into an exception? I think I did something wrong with the XAML, guys. I think that's the case here. Because I did view and not page, and everything is messed up. Not a problem. We just remove this and we say, you know what, add class or new item which is called content page, not view, say, yeah, my page. Everything else can be the same. Come on, thank you. This is base content page, inheriting from this. Thank you. Then we can go and tell him, you know what, forget about this and forget about that. And now what we do here is, can I do it? Binding context is binding. The second one is source, which is a static resource from the XAML, which is called ViewModel locator. And from that, we need the property MyViewModel. Thank you. Label with, binding. Text, title, message, message, message. Please. No? Oh, there is no my view? Yeah, take my page. I'm running out of coffee, guys. That's the most dangerous thing to experience here. That's how I want it. Oh, Heimatflamme. I see. Heimatflamme, who back? Nice to see you, guy. Write something if you're still there. Okay, cool. What are we up to? My. And still nothing here. So what is going on? Binding message, it's message, this is the one, this is my view model. What is going on with my view model? What is going on? My view model, my view model, my view model. Here, I didn't define the message. I'm so stupid sometimes. Of course it's empty. Of course, guys. Oh, man. Now what we should do here is give it a message in my view model, and let's say in the CTR message is hello MVVM. It's very interesting. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Heimatflamme. Thank you for the feedback. At least one is experienced. But who is Nissan and what is he telling? For red? Is this something like bots? I don't know. Heimatflamme, do you know if this is botting for red? I'm not completely sure. Here it is. We have the text. Now it's running on iOS here, and it was simple as hell, if I didn't forget everything. So last thing maybe. What the heck? How can we get rid of this thing? What is set property even doing? So what this thing does, all it does is it ensures that basically on property changed is called, but only then is called when the property actually changed. But this is already all done by, to be honest, by the other thing, which is called property changed FODI. And you know what you can do? I think we already to make auto properties of this. It's already done. It's everything there. You can get rid of it. And now let's go here and let's see if this still works if we get rid of all those ugly properties. So get set, because it's a get set property. Then item detail, same, only get set. Then items view model, the same. Where are the properties? Where are you? Guys, here, selected item. Selected item is pretty cool. So let's see on items selected. Yeah, so in order to make this still working, we could do the following. Override on property, property, where was it? It's the base view model. And what I want to do, can I override on property changed? base view model. Where is property changed? I notify, is it protected? Virtual. Virtual. So now if we have this, we can override it. Override on property change. Thank you. If property name equals name of, what is it? Selected item. If this has changed, on selected item changed, on selected item with selected item. That would be the case. And if we have this, we can do get set, which is pretty clear to me. And let's see what else do we got. Login view models, any properties, anything's good. Items view model, I'm good. Login view model, I'm good. My view model, I'm good. Let's see. Is this still happening? No, because this guy needs to be this, and that guy needs to be an auto property, which is hello MVVM. So is everything working? Let's see. Can I give you something like, I pinned your message. Cool. Heimatflamme, I pinned your message. If you're still there, I pinned it. I don't know what this means. I pinned it. Oh, now it's pinned. Now I know. So this is still working. Then if I hit add, this is 1, 2, 3, still working. Details, not working. So here we have to do something. Something is missing. In the my, this is still working, so the details is not working. Why? Item detail view model. Oh, you see, get set with load item. This is okay. Load item. So what's happening? What is happening? What is click? This is still happening. And do we have a set command here? If we hit F9, are we hitting this? No, because you know why? Because we are not setting the item. I'm so idiot. You are an idiot. Basically an idiot. And now it should work. I'm making a song out of myself. Yeah. Heimatflamme is having fun here. Cool. I need supporters like this. You know, they need to be engaged and whatever. Everything which is possible. Somebody has to explain trolls for me. Like for red. What is for red? Nissan. Nissan. I can read your Cyrillic language. Not a problem. You see this? You do see this? It's just working. Like a charm. Don't tell me you don't like this approach. Don't even tell me. You have to like this. Because this now uses auto properties. No need for this set properties stuff, because everything here, this thing can be deleted completely, this complete stuff, because it's done now by 4D property changed. What is here going on? If changed is now, then changed invoke. No, you don't have to do this, my friend. You can do this. It's just a one-liner. And you don't need to do this. It's just that. It's property changed. Invoke it if it's not now. So that's it, basically. Yeah. Is busy. Nobody knows what that means. Title. It's not mapped anymore because you need to do get set. And here, get set. We don't have to take care about all those member vars because it's just happening. It works. And is busy in title, we see is busy in work. If we go to the screen and go back and forth, we should see the busy indicator there. You remember, if we go back from the screen and go out from the screen and back again from the first screen, it should be visible. Let's see. Go away, go back in. You saw it, the busy indicator. It's still it's still working, which means is busy is still working. Oh, it gets so nice. I love it. I love this stuff. Really, guys. I thought it would be far more complicated to go here, but we already are, in my opinion, far more better. Let me check this in. And using auto props, commit and push. Thank you. I know you guys all wish me all the best. So this gets better and better, and maybe this is a good starting point to go with this the next time. I think it's enough for today. It's already 2.5 hours. I didn't plan to do this so long, but I think this is a pretty good ending. All of you can just get this out on your PC. If you have Visual Studio 2022 with the workload installed, you can totally do this. Can I show you now property changed in work in this simple example so you at least understand? Yeah, it does. So you see this here, hello world. Let me show you the real stuff here. So if we now hit the foo, and now nothing here. And if I change foo from outside, never mind. He is saying foo because this thing is giving out the property name. If I just write here, so you can better see it, okay? In this event handler, I just write changed to, I don't know, E has nothing. So what we can do is sample, let me do some nasty stuff. Get property, E property name, get value of, where's my sender? Was it S? S is my sender. Cool. Now, this is not checking anything, I know, but now we should see what is important to see. What happened? What happened? Oh, hello world. No, let me try again because it didn't stop. Foo changed to hello. You see this? Here it is. Foo changed to hello. And if I do this like for var I equals 1 e smaller, I don't know, some big number, e++, let's do an iterator. Let's do await, task delay 100, and let's do the following. Sample is GUID, new GUID, toString. Let's have fun with this. You know what I mean? It's just working. And the magic here is it works without me taking care. It's just an auto property. Foo is an auto property. And some thing here, and you can see it this way. There are disassemblers like IL spy is not the one I have dot peak from JetBrains. This is my disassembler. Let me get rid of the windows here. So if you have dot peak, last thing, I swear. But now it makes sense because you otherwise don't understand what this freaking... Oh. Будь здоров. Oh, будь здоров. Спасибо, да? Антон. In Russian. Спасибо большое. Будь здоров. Да, давай. He tells me, bless you, basically, in Russian. So I'm glad that he did. Anton. Okay. Anyway, go to repos and then no, it's not repos, it's documents. That's where my documents, and then Armor Free. I play Armor Free. You knew that? Now you know. And now go to, where is it Console Lab? What is it called? Console Lab 1. So here you have Console Lab 1, you have your bin folder, debug, .NET 6. And now this is my DLL, okay? So what if I take this DLL and inspect it? So hopefully I see something. Let's get rid of those, you see. Oh, I tinkered with Maui, let's do it again. This should be, this is console app 1DLL. So let's take a look at my sample class. This is actually interesting. Let's double click it, and I hope I can see everything. So, where is my foo property? And watch what is going on here. You see this code, and it's this is C# pseudocode, but it's showing us what it's part of the assembly. Okay, this is done by property changed, FODI. So if I am doing this one here, if I am removing property changed from my weavers in this sample project, let's go ahead. I just say, you know what, do nothing. Don't do it. Rebuild. Now basically I switched off property changed. He built it, and now go here, and I think I have, do I have to refresh this guy? Do I have to reopen it simply? I'm not sure. Yeah, you see, it vanished. All the logic vanished. Now in the result, you only have the backing field value. Let me prove it. Property changed again. And this is switching on. Just to explain, this NuGet package, property changed NuGet package. And when I now rebuild this thing and wait a little bit, because he should do it and reopen it, you see nothing, of course. Can I do a refresh, or should I do a refresh? Hey guy, rebuild this. Rebuild all succeeded. Go here. So clear. Can I, do I have to refresh here something? Go here, please. He's going on my nerves. So what I do now is I take the package again and put it in. I don't know what's going on. Root namespace sample, and it's not working. Property changed is not kicking in. I removed it, and he's not doing it. Let's clean it. Let's rebuild it. And let's see, by the way, if this is still working. Is it working? Is this working? And now my question is, can I see it working? This is totally, no, this is not true. This is simply not true. Am I in the right folder? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Rebuild. Where is my folder? Bin, debug, .NET 6. There you are. Guys, you know what I mean. But I have to show it to you so you are believing me. It's pretty important. Sample. No. But it's working. It is working. Foo is being raised, which means it's working. But it's lying to me. I saw it. I saw it, guys. Here's property changed. Everything's okay. I'm not interested in. Do I miss something? It's the foo property, and we saw this if, then, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. No, no, no. Is it this one? Public sam? No, it is not. Public foo. This is lying to me. EL code. I don't understand EL code. Don't do it. Navigate, locate. What am I missing here? I did it. I know it. You saw it. It's in the recording. You saw it. Well, whoever knows how I can get this back to work to show me the correct result, please send it to me. You saw it in the first version and you saw it disappear. I don't know what's happening. And I know that it's working because if I test it out, this works. Property changed is running. If I do the weavers and I take this out, it should not work. I am convinced it should not work. See? Nothing. It's working, but nothing. I can prove that it's working by just simply hitting a breakpoint. It's doing its job, but the event here on top is never called. So screw you, .peak. I don't like you anymore. So if I hit the weavers again, here you go. And it simply should work. Bam. That's what I wanted you to show. So property, iNotify property change is an interface which is available in .NET Framework. If you want to implement it automatically, not calling it manually. So you need to have auto properties in what you want to achieve. If anything hits the set, this should be called automatically. Just use property changed 40. That's it. Okay, guys. Remember that all the code, I have a link here in the top in the chat, and who joined just right now see that this is my stuff, my complete stuff. You can take a look at this, and I think we will do another sample next week. I think we will. And then we work on this and just leave me comments if you like this stuff. Obviously you do, a little bit. And if you're interested in more stuff and want to see more details, just let me know what you want to see. And then we can talk about this. Guys, I wish you all the best. Have a nice weekend, good week, and see you next time. Bye.